What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. On today's episode, we're going to get into some coaching news, some movement,
coaching,
some flirting with organizations.
NFC North is going to be crazy next year.
Let's do it. Hey-o! What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. My name is Joey. This is Angel on episode 207. On today's show, we're going to get into some coaching news. All the stuff that happened over the divisional round weekend that wasn't the games.
Because of the divisional round.
Exactly. Now the aftermath. Specifically in Detroit. It's looking very different very fast.
They're getting gutted, which happens when you're a good team. You get gutted of all your coaches.
If you're watching on YouTube, welcome to the channel.
Hi.
Thank you to all you new subscribers. We are well over 1,000 now, so thank you to all of you who are following the show, even if you hate me because of my Commanders.
But you told me a cool story. We have some fans across the country that were
got a message from a guy in Miami who's watching with his brother.
What's up, dude?
One's an Eagle fan, one's a Commanders fan.
Do you know?
I don't know his name. You really put him on the spot there.
What's up, Miami guy? What's up, dude?
One's an Eagles fan, one's a Commanders fan.
Put you on the spot. My bad.
What's his name? I don't know. It's 1,000 subscribers.
Damn.
Anyway, if you're watching the channel, thanks for joining us. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, just leave it alone.
Francisco.
If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, iRadio, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, thanks so much for joining us on the audio version of the podcast. Brought to you, of course, by the Fans First Sports Network. Okay, divisional rounds in the bag. We talked a lot about that in Monday's episode. If you want to hear our thoughts, our recap, of course, a lot of people tuned in for our reaction to the Commanders game. That's all on episode 206. Go check that out. On the page as well. On today's show, we're really going to recap a lot of the coaching news we couldn't get to. And I'm actually kind of glad we didn't get to it because a lot has happened.
It needs time. It needs time to,
I mean, a lot happened overnight with it.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into that. And that's really all that's going on now. Everything else is just preparing for championship round week.
Yeah. It's funny because you're seeing, like, if your team doesn't have a head coach, and you're wondering why you're not interviewing anybody, just realize that situations like what just happened in Chicago might be in place. Might be a coach on a team that's in the playoffs, that the teams are waiting for them to be out or whatever, because you saw quickly that news broke after.
That's a good point. Like, who are we? Like, so we're talking about the movement that is happening today and, like, the interviews that are happening, but
like Spags.
Who's out there still that, could be a coaching candidate? Spags for sure.
Spags is the first one that
comes
to mind.
Cliff Kingsbury doing bucking the trend a little bit. You see what he said? It was said that he said, so we don't know. But he is basically he's not going to take any interviews until the Commanders are done with their run.
Oh, good.
So a lot of people complaining about what happened in Detroit. Like 2 days later, Ben Johnson signed somewhere else. So
because then you start to wonder how dialed
focused were you?
I honestly I don't like coaches don't do that more. Like we're not talking about it should be in the CBA. No coaches can interview until after the playoffs.
It should be in the rule because it's impossible for the coaches. Because if you don't interview, then you're screwing yourself.
Yeah,
it's like the same thing with the free agency. Hey, you don't talk before the deadline, but then stuff's happening at the deadline.
Yeah, that should be like say it should be one big deal. Like the week after the Super Bowl, there should be opened up for coaching. Yeah, where everyone has a fair chance. Where because some teams miss out. Yeah. Because for whatever reason,
they miss out. Coaches miss out.
Yeah, so it should be a little bit. Yeah,
but let's get into the news. All right, let's get into this news. Of course, brought to you by BETR Picks. Right now, if you want to go get a part of the action this weekend, go download the app BETR Picks. Use our code. Link is in the bio. If you use our code, BETR Picks right now is matching all first-time deposits up to $250. So you could deposit $100. And just get $100 free to bet with.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I tell you what, I put in a bunch of plays and parlays this week, and it made the games a lot more fun for me.
I'm doing a lot of money this week.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not losing money, but it's a good weekend, and everyone's watching, so you get to
So watch football and earn some money while you do it. It's a lot of fun. BETR Picks. What did it say? Sports just got better.
Sports just got better.
Let's get into the news.
It's Logan Paul's thing, right?
Yeah, it's, Jake Paul.
Jake Paul's thing.
Problem child. Former Jets head coach Robert Saleh has a second interview with the Jags scheduled for Friday. Jeremy Fowler reporting that Saleh acquitted himself well in the first interview. Now gets a second look. Robert Saleh, I know there's a lot of flirtation with him and the 49ers to go back there and be their defensive coordinator. I just don't see it happening.
Second interview with the Jags.
I feel like he's going to get a head coaching job. I'd hire him.
I like him. I think he fixed that defense. The defense has always had talent.
I think getting fired kind of saved his profile as a coach because you saw the Jets tank after that.
And there are some guys who don't believe he's a good coach still, but some guys who do. Yeah. It's divided, but if he were the whole season and they were 3 wins, 4 wins, it would definitely be a coordinator. But now he's got but you're right. Since he got fired, you're kind of like a mystery. Like, oh, is he still a good coach?
Good for him, man. Because I feel like he got screwed in that whole.
He was
thing.
the scapegoat.
Yeah, he was the scapegoat, and they're what 500.
Yeah, 500 was with Zach Wilson, or they're one.
No, were they when Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, they were bad.
They're like a game. No, it was like 4 games into the season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early. Okay, I thought. Sorry.
Yeah, early when he got fired. He got fired early, and the Jets weren't even like in the toilet yet, and they quickly went in the toilet after. So, Saleh and the Jags.
I like it. It depends on his OC.
Yeah, he's always had a good defense. Yeah. Everywhere he's gone, obviously 2 places now.
But the Jags thing, my first thought is Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, I would quickly need to see who
you're gonna want to know who you're gonna bring in for. Yeah. But bringing in. There's a lot of offensive guys out there. I mean, we saw it work with
Cohen,
LA in the Chargers. Like Harbaugh, he brought in an offensive guy. It worked out for them.
Yeah.
And who else? I think the Ravens with Monken. And so there are a lot of these older offensive coaches. I'm thinking a Doug Peterson. Well, he can't go back to Jags. But
demotion.
Someone like a Doug Peterson, just not Doug Peterson. Just get the right guy.
Dougie Pete, I haven't heard anything about him.
He's probably gonna take a little time off. I'm guessing
he's getting paid.
He's
getting paid, so he can just do it.
And that was probably a very, very long season.
Stressful, yeah.
Just to know he's getting fired.
2 weeks in London,
at
just
the end of it.
Dude, that's like a horrible vacation.
Just
you're in
don't
London.
hire what's his name, the Bears OC who Jackson Smith and Jigba said that. Good luck with that guy.
Yeah, Grubb.
I forgot his name.
Grubb's the guy who got fired.
Yeah. I forgot his name.
Whatever. Doesn't matter. He's a loser.
Yeah. But that's the problem, though. You're gonna go be creative. Go look in the college ranks. I think you can find someone to work with.
Yeah.
With Trevor Lawrence, he's not a rookie anymore, so you don't need someone to bring him along per se and teach him how to be a pro. You kind of just need someone to take him to the next level.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can get like an older coach to work with him. But we'll see what happens there in Jacksonville. Moving on, the line coaches are getting poached, and they're getting poached fast. Top target, Aaron Glenn visits the Jets, and the goal is to keep him from leaving the building, says Ian Rappaport. The deal isn't done yet, and there are still some particulars to discuss, but if all goes well, at the end of the day, we're recording on a Tuesday, so this may be done already by the time we release this. So we'll talk about it in terms of being done because it sounds like it's going to be done.
Yeah.
I did see Schultz.
Oh, yeah.
What's his first name?
Jordan
Schultz.
What's up, Jordan Schultz?
I saw Jordan Schultz say that, like, in all certainty, these guys are going to have a job.
Yeah.
Like, and we saw Ben Johnson right away, Aaron Glenn right away. I know Terrell had some reservations about Aaron Glenn being a head coach.
That's true.
But looks like Aaron Glenn's going to be the new head coach of the New York Jets.
So all this stuff is meaning that I think Aaron Rodgers is gone. I think they're just redoing the whole thing. Like, Glenn does seem like an Aaron Rodgers guy. I doubt they have any connection. I think they're just moving on. Like, we're just move on without Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it feels like Aaron Glenn is what you're trying to do is reset a culture. Yeah. You're hoping that he can do for the Jets what Dan Campbell did for the Lions.
And then you heard what Aaron Rodgers said on Pat McAfee.
It's all up to the head
coach GM. Yeah.
I think he's going to retire, and I think
retire.
It's fine.
It's okay. Retire. Man.
He walked off the field with Devontae Adams. He had that moment.
Yeah.
And he had a fine. Like, he can go out knowing like I went on my own terms. I could still play.
We're talking about Aaron Rodgers again.
I know, right? But it's part of the conversation because going forward, they're gonna have to figure out quarterback. And if it's not Aaron Rodgers, then they don't have a great pick. I don't think.
No.
I think they're top 10, top 15, maybe.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot.
So you're gonna have to do something. I don't know. There's a lot. You could do a veteran retrade. There's a lot of things you can do. And we'll see. We'll see if Aaron Glenn's a real deal.
Does Aaron Glenn have any Sam Darnold carryover? That'd be nice there.
Like if bring him back, Sam Darnold
redemption story
to the Jets,
he's not going back to the
Jets. He's not going back to the Jets.
No, that'd be sweet though.
There's a lot of guys. I mean, I think there's a couple wild cards out there. One of them is Justin Fields again. Like, where's Justin Fields going to go? Is someone going to give him a chance? I think after his performance to start the season for the Steelers, I think he gets a chance. Yeah. And there's a lot of some of these vets floating around. What happens with Geno Smith?
Yeah.
Is Kyler Murray going to be available? And so we'll see what happens there with the Jets. But I think it's going to be this first year. Let's start building a culture.
Yeah.
Let's draft character guys. I think you're going to see them draft some upperclassmen, maybe not like one and dones or two and dones, whatever they do, and maybe sign like the Commanders did. I think what's kind of unheralded with the Commanders and what they did, Adam Peters, is signing guys like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz and some of these vets, these leaders, these high character guys, and you do that, and they get behind a coach, and look how fast you could turn a culture.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'm hopeful for the Jets.
the Jets roster is very good.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
the thing,
good
too.
roster. Yeah,
Yes.
Like Aaron Glenn had shortcomings because he had lack of talent. There's no lack of talent in New York, especially on defense.
Yeah,
Sauce Gardner, Quentin Williams.
So I mean, Sauce Gardner seems like a little bit of a diva, but maybe he could
They're
work
all
with
divas.
him.
It's a corner.
I'm trying to think like culture guys. Is anyone you need to ship out? Like anyone that bad? I don't think so.
You have CJ Mosley in the middle, who's hurt all last year. That's
Yeah.
why. But you have Quentin Williams.
He
you have
seems
Jermaine
fine.
Johnson coming back off injury. That's talented roster.
All right, let's look at this other Lions coach that is already gone. Chicago finalized a deal for offensive coordinator, formerly of the Lions, now head coach for the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson. Heading to Chicago to work with Caleb Williams. There are clips of him talking about Caleb Williams in glowing terms.
Yeah.
He's a big fan of the guy, big fan of the talent. And you got to imagine, if you're a Chicago Bears fan, what am I trying to say? You missed out a year ago.
Yeah. But
the Lord showed you favor.
I think actually the same scenario. I think last year we missed out. Yeah, exactly. Like this is just a gift from the football gods.
You got to redo.
Ben Johnson's still there, and we got him.
You got to redo.
And funny because he wanted to go to play more with like a organizational, all that stuff. And I was like, the Bears have not been that. They've been like they're wishy-washy with Justin Fields, and then they were they kept Eberflus, fight him halfway through.
This has to be about the quarterback.
Yeah,
he is just this convinced on Caleb Williams, which best case scenario for a Bears fan, for the Bears organization, for their chances of. Yeah. And listen, there's some questions in this NFC North now moving forward.
Be on the lookout, by the way, for these Lions players to go over to
There's definitely that.
Yeah,
there's definitely that. I'm not sure they're you look up their free agent list real quick for the Lions.
Yeah.
But looking at the NFC North, I was thinking about it. I remember when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and the next year we lost Shane Steichen and we lost Jonathan Gannon. And it was tough.
Yeah, that was the year that you guys had that meltdown halfway at the end.
It was super tough. It took years to recover from it. I want to see what the Lions do now moving forward. Jared Goff coming off this terrible game.
Some decent.
What the Lions do in free agency?
So, the bold ones are the ones that they kind of highlighted. Marcus Davenport, edge rusher. Kevin Zeitler, veteran guard. The Bears O-line sucks. Yep. Tim Patrick, obviously. Derek Barnes, linebacker.
I can see Tim Patrick coming.
Carlton Davis, down in the corner. And then, I can't pronounce his name. Ifutu Mena, that safety, that big-ass safety.
Yeah, some of these, especially these, I see Tim Patrick coming over.
Yeah, Patrick coming over. And there's like, Skipper, who's been like a staple for the Lions.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets paid.
Plays a little tight end.
Maybe he gets paid in Chicago because that O-line is going to be priority 1, 2, and 3.
I mean, you got to imagine, too, Ben Johnson coming from the Lions. He's going to pour into that O-line. That's going to be his priority.
Because it has to.
It's kind of funny how much crossover there is between the Bears and the Lions now.
Yeah.
You have DeAndre Swift in Chicago. Now you have Ben Johnson, the former Lions. It's
David Montgomery on the Lions.
There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a heated rivalry, which is awesome. But now I saw you had tweeting here with the current head coaches for the NFC North. You got Ben Johnson with the Bears, Dan Campbell with the Lions, Kevin O'Connell, and Matt LaFleur.
Real quick, rank these. Just obviously, Ben Johnson has no career head coach wins, but out the gate, just right now, initial rankings.
Man, I hate to do this, but I'd go Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, Matt LaFleur, Ben Johnson.
I think I would switch LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell.
Really? So
no, that's stupid.
Kevin O'Connell third?
No, that sounds bad. No,
Kevin O'Connell's just been more successful than Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's true.
He's just been overall better. Dan Campbell, just the.
How are you with him crying at the press conferences?
That's who he is, man.
Just wears his.
That's what makes him great.
He just cares bleeds for his team.
You may not. Yeah, you may think it's corny. You may think whatever, but the players see it. They see him. Way more than we see him, and they know it's authentic,
That's
and
why
they follow it, man. You got guys coming back way too early from injury just to go to war with this.
Montgomery has one leg. He's out there playing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I have no problem with that. I think that's his style of leadership, and it's working for the Lions. And even though they flamed out in the playoffs in pretty dramatic fashion, it's still arrow up for the Lions in general.
So, I'm curious to see his staff. I know there's rumor the rumor is that they're going to get former head coach for the Saints, Dennis Allen, as the DC, and then the coordinator who was the interim coach for the Saints. It might be the coordinator, the special teams coordinator. I forgot his name. Rizzi might go there as the special teams coordinator. So he's a pretty good staff.
Yeah. I'd like to see him get some kind of veteran on the staff.
And I'm curious.
And I'm not talking about Dennis Allen.
I'm curious to see what's more intriguing place to go to is Detroit or like the Houston. Like, if you're a wideout running back, where would you go? Detroit or
A skill position player?
you go Detroit?
I'm going
Sorry, not Detroit.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah,
Chicago.
I'm going to Chicago.
Because Ben Johnson's offense is so innovative and so exciting. It's not the same.
Well, I don't know. I think it's going to be an individual basis because you do have Ben Johnson, but then are you really going to pick Caleb Williams right now over C.J. Stroud? Probably not.
No.
You know?
Even if Stroud had a bad year, you would still pick Stroud over Caleb Williams.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. But Chicago fans, you should be excited.
This is great.
You should be over the moon that you got a second chance at Ben Johnson. You locked it down. Now I think you have like close to $70 million in cap space.
And it seems like such a switch from Bears culture because forever they've had these defensive, tough-minded head coaches.
Right.
And then you had Nagy, but Nagy never called plays. He was just the
Right.
Andy Reid disciple that didn't work out. And they never work out because Andy Reid disciples. Andy Reid calls all the plays.
Right.
This is the first time it feels like an innovative, young youth movement's coming to Chicago. It's nice because that division, even though they flamed out in the playoffs, is still one of the best, if not the best, division in football.
I was looking up his stats. I think he finished second in passing yards, the Lions' offense anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Second in passing yards. Yeah, I have it right here. Second in total offense. Sorry, 409 yards on average per game. That's only behind the Ravens.
Since Ben Johnson has been the coordinator for the Lions,
Yeah,
first in points per game, first in yards per game, first in pass yards per game, second in rushing touchdowns, and first in red zone percentage.
That's what I'm saying. The guy just has a proven track record. Yeah. I think there's much more question marks back in Detroit where he left a gap. Like, how are they going to let's talk about that now. Like, how do you replace Ben Johnson and probably Aaron Glenn?
I think you go head coach hunting. The fired head coaches.
Yeah.
You go Dougie P.
Yeah.
Right. You try to get one of these head coaches that kind of failed, and you bring him in because
so many questions.
Because like the base is already set. Dan Campbell and this GM kind of build and draft.
Right.
Now you just need the right pieces. But like,
and they're great at it.
And they're great
at player development.
But now you just need now it's gonna be hard because Ben Johnson was the entire.
That's what I'm
he
saying.
Innovated this offense.
The
so
questions
much.
to me that immediately pop out are, okay, what happens to Jared Goff?
Yep.
What happens to Jared Goff? Because he's ending the season already on a very iffy note with the Lions. What happens to this offense in general? Like, are you going to be able to outscore these people the way you were this year because your defense wasn't locked down?
Yeah,
it's just and then defensively,
and Eric Glenn.
That's just it's a lot of questions. But Dan Campbell's a leader, and maybe he can right the ship. But they'll face some questions, and the NFC North will be wide open again next year.
Offseason talks to me crazy for this division
because the Vikings have their questions. Honestly, the Packers are the only ones who are really going to run it back.
Yeah, because they kind of have young guys who are signed or under rookie deals. Yeah,
they're going to run it back. They're not going to go against a first place schedule.
Yep.
The Packers could actually have a great year next year.
Yeah, next year it's going to be hard to rank this division because the Bears are going to make a splash because they did last season. They'll make one this year. The Lions are going to have the OC coordinator, the OC DC coordinator change, and the Vikings have the Sam Darnold question / McCarthy question.
Yeah,
so
Much
interesting.
fun. All right, let's move on here. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has spoken to head coach Deion Sanders about the team's head coaching vacancy, and discussions are expected to continue regarding the possibility of him becoming the next coach in Dallas. Coach Prime considered to be the top candidate. I've also seen Kellen Moore, ex offensive coordinator for the Cowboys, currently for the Philadelphia Eagles, another very serious candidate. So,
and then an in-house interview, Schottenheimer.
Did he get an interview?
Yeah,
he's not getting a job.
But he's a nice interview.
Put
that to your resume. Put that to your LinkedIn.
But Deion and Kellen Moore, I couldn't think of any more polar opposite as far as moving the needle in the general public.
Kellen Moore, oh god.
Yeah, but I mean, Kellen Moore has done really well. But if you're a Cowboys fan, you want Deion, right?
Deion, it's funny because Deion's people. There's such a big opinion about Deion.
Yeah,
because he's kind of I don't know, it's kind of like you either love him or you hate him. There's no in between. There's no he's whatever. Because some people hate Colorado because of Deion. They hate what he's brought, but they haven't won a national championship, but they've gotten better. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, what he's done with Jackson State and then in Colorado, just making him relevant. He's obviously a great leader. He's obviously someone who has a large amount of charisma
and a large amount of people forget. Don't let you forget. He's one of the best football players of all time.
Yeah.
Top 3 all time.
Yeah.
Legitimately
you got to imagine recruiting assistant coaches wouldn't be very difficult for him.
Yeah.
And so, and then just the fact him in Dallas, he understands Jerry, he understands the star, he understands what it means, and I think he's the type of person who can push back on Jerry a little bit.
That'd be great. Because last time that happened was Jimmy Johnson. They won a couple championships down there.
He didn't exactly shut it down either. There's a quote from Deion Sanders when asked about it. To hear from Jerry Jones is true delightful. It's intriguing. I love Jerry. I believe in Jerry. After you hang up and process it and think about it, it's intriguing. But I love Boulder and everything there is about our team, our coaches, our student body, community. So not shutting it down, giving flowers to Boulder, saying like, hey, I'm still here so far, but we've seen this, man.
I saw an article that Boulder's running out of money.
Running out of NIL money.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, right? It's a big thing right now in the college game.
I mean, though they did get the number one quarterback recruit, or one of the better quarterback recruits.
But he didn't stay in Jackson State very long.
And he went to Boulder.
Then he went to Boulder. His sons are gone. Everyone knew one.
Well, one son.
One son's gone. Yeah. The more loved son. The one he loves the
most.
One's
a corner, though.
The one he loves the most, though. I mean,
one's literally Shiloh. He's a cornerback. He wears 21. That's cool.
You could. I'm not gonna speculate, but I mean, he wears 21. He wants Daddy to love him.
Oh,
because Dad doesn't love him the way he loves Shador.
Because Shador's the quarterback.
I'm obviously kidding. This is not real.
This is not real.
But Travis Hunter, his other son, he's gone now too. So I don't know, man. I think he ditches. I think he goes to Dallas. I think it's gonna happen.
Just as an Eagle fan, what's your worry barometer for the Cowboys?
It's funny that I don't like. I love Deion so much that that's not immediately where my mind goes. Like, oh, the Eagles. I want to see it. I want to see it in a level. I want to work it out. As far as like being concerned about it.
Yeah, like how like you're concerned with every other NFC.
I think they have so many things to figure out. I wouldn't be concerned right away. I'd want to see it to see if like I should be concerned yet.
Yeah.
Like right now, if you're in the NFC East, it's obviously the Eagles. The Commanders are coming fast, and might just go ahead and overtake them this year. And the Cowboys and Giants are still figuring it out.
Giants are at the bottom of this thing because no quarterback.
They're at the bottom. I don't think there's much difference between the Giants and the Cowboys, even like roster-wise. They have CD and Dak in place, and that's kind of where it like sets them apart.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's not. And Micah. Other than that, it's not a great roster.
Tyler Smith, Zach Martin's the if right now.
They have Andrew Thomas, and they both have guys like. I don't know. It's definitely Cowboys for me over the Giants.
Yeah, but it's close.
But I don't think that gap's very wide.
Yeah, it's man, if he goes to Dallas and what sucks is that Dallas is already locked down with the quarterback. Like you can't get Shador Sanders there. You could, but you have to trade Dak. It's a big cap hit. And you have to swim in some dead money. Yeah. You have to swim in some dead money, and then the only player, coach, or what was maybe the Jets? Like, do you think it's in a different division? They're looking for a quarterback.
Huge move.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't have the cap numbers in front of me. I'm sure they just signed him right to extension. I'm sure the dead cap's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. I don't. If he go, I don't see that happening. I don't think they're gonna bring.
That'd be the perfect storm.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be incredible.
I think the only place that was gonna happen is the Raiders if they didn't fumble away the first pick, but
Literally.
they did.
Well, Antonio Pierce wants to win, Joey.
Yeah, you see that video of Antonio Pierce out before the games at like 3 a.m.
Sweet dude. He's all about the Raiders culture.
That was just never going to work out. I wonder who they're going to hire.
He's not a head coach, and it's okay. He'll be on a roster.
He'll never be a head coach.
He'll be on a staff next year, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Probably in Vegas. He loves it.
Well, I could see him like now becoming Deuce Staley, where he's like
just a hired assassin or hired gun or hired not even assassin.
I don't want to minimize him that much, but like assistant head coach.
No, one of those like assistant to the.
You're
head
thinking
coach.
Of like a Big Dom, like no, not a Big Dom.
No, I'm thinking of like a Deuce Staley where he's like just goes from coach to coach and just kind of does 1 year stints everywhere.
Oh, like okay, okay.
Yeah.
One and done everywhere. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about Antonio Pierce.
No, we don't.
Who's going to the Raiders though? The Ben Johnson's gone.
Who the hell
they wanted him bad. Brady literally tried to poach him.
You know what? And they said on Twitter that he didn't mention him one time in the whole game.
Yeah,
because he's trying not to.
Yeah.
What's it called? Because he's an owner, or is he's an owner and he's
that's just gonna that the whole situation is ridiculous. I love Brady. He's on my my Hall of Fame up here.
Yeah.
But he does not need to be in the booth while he's an owner. That's so ridiculous.
Because you can't say a lot of stuff.
You can't critique players. Yeah. You can't critique refs. You're an owner.
Yeah.
So you can't go to pre-show meetings.
Yep. So, with players.
Yeah, you can't sit down with a player and talk about.
That's crazy.
How you do your job then?
Very carefully. That's probably why you think he's robotic.
How is it allowed?
That's probably why he's robotic, because he can't say everything. He has to be very careful. As an agent,
it's ridiculous that he's able to do both.
Like his publicist is hard at work every time he has to say something.
Yeah, I mean they marketed the hell out of him this year.
Well, he's calling the Super Bowl.
Well, yeah. If you've seen the Super Bowl adds to. It's like Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Front
It's Tom
center.
Brady calling the game, yeah.
Jeez.
He's going to break some rules.
You did also put another tweet in there that the zero interest in the Raiders job from Deion Sanders. So I feel like that's a subtle shot.
It's a little shot. I don't know. I mean, who's still out there? There's the Doug Petersons of the world, like the Rex Ryan. I'm sure. No,
I think honestly, if Bobby Slowick's gonna get a job, I think that's a good place for him because it's nothing but up there, and you can see like, okay, you're gonna get a young quarterback. Yeah. Let's see if you can do something. Yeah, you know, in a place where there's not a lot of expectations. Mm-hmm. There's no success. It's just a blank slate completely.
And the roster, it's not as bad as people think. You have a left tackle. You have
Brock Bowers.
You have Bowers. And obviously, you have Max Crosby. Yeah. You have a couple guys there
to work with.
Yeah, it's just.
But like, if he went to Chicago, like
Caleb Williams,
they would be like, okay, you need to make this work. Yeah, like we expect this.
Oh,
here
there's less
really
pressure.
Good. Yeah,
probably more of a leash too.
Yeah. But if you go to Las Vegas,
it all depends if Brady likes you.
What you can make of it. Yeah. So,
do you see that? This is off topic. Josh McDaniels linked to New England, back to England. Yeah, as Vrabel's OC
for sure.
That feels right.
That feels like it's gonna happen actually.
Because that's just I think Vrabel just kept on the special teams coordinator for the last who's been on staff forever because he's a New England guy.
You know, I knew you were gonna hate. Did you see Fassel, the special teams coordinator?
Yeah. Let me just get this out of the way. He's not good. He's not a good special teams coordinator. He's not. He went to Tennessee. Tennessee hired him. I mean, John Bones Fassel got hired on. He's not good.
I saw that.
He's not creative.
I saw that. I immediately thought of you. I thought Angel hates this
because they always hype him up, and then whenever he always makes big old mistakes.
Yeah. Lou Amaruolo.
Yeah.
New DC in Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. They need that.
I love that
because that defense sucked.
I'm telling you. I'm gonna say it right now, man. The Bengals fucked that up.
I'm about to say, don't do the Colts thing again.
Why?
What? The Colts all offseason.
Oh, no. Yeah. the Bengals messed that up.
Yeah, they did.
They got rid of a good defensive coordinator because he had one bad half season.
And then he got it together. Yeah.
And then he got it together. He's standing the horses.
Yeah. And at the end of the year, I know they after the Broncos, they had games where they had to stop quarterbacks and they did. And it's just Lou Amaruolo is gonna do pretty decently down there.
Yeah, it was such a mistake for the Bengals, but yeah, great grab for the Colts.
Well, this might be the start of the snowball for the Bengals. Just losing pieces. DC, T. Higgins still question mark. Trey Hendrickson, a bunch of guys out there.
So far, as far as the player element, it seems like it's a very people aren't very crazy about it. You know,
yeah.
Rumored is to go there is the Notre Dame defensive coordinator Al Golden. So.
Did you watch the national championship game?
I watched parts of it.
I watched the end of it. I watched the last
quarter.
I
saw Herb Street crying in the booth because Ohio State.
Because of his dog. Oh God.
No.
So tired of his dog story. His dog died.
Because Ohio State won.
Oh, why did he cry?
Because he loves Ohio State.
Oh,
I think he played for Ohio State.
I have no idea. People are gonna hate us for not knowing who Kirk Herbstreit played.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're not college guys.
Yeah.
Because the teams we cheer for.
Check Twitter for anything else we missed here. Patriots targeting Lions defensive line coach Terrell Williams to be their new DC under Mike Vrabel.
So. Well, Fugaz, Vrabel's gonna call defense.
That's what I'm saying. I think he's a good one of his boys. But
let's just rank these so far head coach hires. It's just Vrabel.
Okay, yeah.
It's Vrabel and it's Ben Johnson, right?
Elite. Those are both elite hires. I think they're both being successful. If I had to put money on one, it'd be Vrabel.
But yeah,
just because we've seen him do it.
Yeah, who's getting more wins next year? The Patriots,
that's a different question.
The Patriots with Vrabel or the Bears? Because they both finished bad records.
Yeah.
The Bears with Ben Johnson.
Oh, man. I think it'll be...
Because it's two technical
If I had to put money on it, it has to be Vrabel. It has to be Vrabel. You've seen Vrabel, make... What is it? Make lemonade out of... I forgot how it goes, but... You've seen him do...
lemons, yeah.
You've seen... I think you always make lemonade out of lemons.
Limes out of
What am I thinking of? I don't know. But you've seen him do a lot with a little.
Whatever the fuck we do.
You see him do a lot with a little already. And so the Patriots aren't exactly a little either. They have a couple pieces.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I think, and then namely they have a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think that with Mike Vrabel
it's pretty.
That's where I'd put my money.
People don't want to admit that's pretty similar situation. The Patriots job was just as good as the Bears job.
Yeah. It's just Bears job is way more sexy.
Yeah, it's just the sexy one.
It's just they have the weapons. They have Caleb Williams, number one pick.
Chicago has like a hit. I mean, even though Patriots have a big history, they had Tom Brady.
Yeah. But really, my answer would be I think they're both going to be very successful next year because the Bears also have that defense. I want to see who's DC is going to be.
Well, the Lions actually. Oh, sorry, the Bears play in the NFC North.
That's also tough.
That's also
that's
tough.
a great point.
So that's-
but yeah, I think those
Wondering
two
about
are great.
So we're still waiting on the Saints, on the Jets, Raiders, a couple
Saints,
teams that we're
Jets,
waiting for.
Raiders, Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars.
Yeah, so we'll see about that.
That's
Anything
it.
else? Any
No.
other thoughts from divisional week that we didn't get to?
No, I'm just happy that Zach Ertz is getting another shot at it. That's nice.
That's so bittersweet.
Against
for me.
his former team.
It's
you know,
so bittersweet
that,
for me.
If he retires after you, it's kind of full circle for him.
I hate that he's on the Commanders. I love it for him. I love that he's still playing.
Yeah.
I hate that he's doing this for another team
And then against you guys
against the
for
Eagles.
a chance at a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about that game so much. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. We'll get into the predictions, all that, but I think it's cool that they're both there. I think it speaks well for the NFC East.
Yeah.
That doesn't get a lot of respect.
I know people will pick Chiefs and Bills. That's my game of the week is Commanders Eagles. Just an underdog versus the big dog.
The storylines are elite.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
championship weekend.
You have
Because you have the rubber match between the divisional opponents.
Mhm.
The fan bases hate each other. And then the other side, you have just the classic matchup.
Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes.
Can Josh Allen finally do it?
Can he? Yeah, with a different outlook on
Yeah.
football and life. Like it's a different quarterback. Yeah.
Now that we've had a couple nights to sleep on it, as far as the losing teams,
Mhm.
do you think we're overreacting to any of them? Like, okay, let's talk about the Texans.
No, they are what they are.
I think we pretty much nailed that one.
Well, if they hold tight with Slowick, I'm gonna think the same way about the next year.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna be an okay team.
The Lions, I feel like we spent ample time on them.
Yeah,
I think
we're fine. We're fine with Lions.
The Rams. I
well,
feel like we
there's
didn't talk
stuff.
about it enough.
There's stuff about Cooper Kupp not being there
Yep.
next year, and then
Yep.
stuff about Stafford retiring.
Yeah, he said he's going to wait to make a decision.
It's probably going to be in conjunction with his best friend Cooper Kupp, who if Cooper Kupp leaves somewhere,
Yeah.
because there was already a rumor that the Chiefs wanted Cooper Kupp at this deadline, and they got Hopkins.
Cooper Kupp just seems disappointed in the organization
Like they kind of
because they even chopped him.
and also they found a younger, sexier model in Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua. I don't think he's mad about that, but yeah, I think he
No, but I think
sees the writing on the wall.
Yeah, it's a business. He understands that.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, the Rams. If that moves around, that's going to change. I think Stafford. I was listening to people have the conversation about who's the best quarterback in the NFC right now, and obviously a lot of people are picking Jane Daniels just because he's the hot thing right now, and I get it. But Matthew Stafford's a name that's brought up. Like he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
And so that would be to just take that out of the NFC would be, I think, throw things for a loop.
No, it'd be nice. Is if not nice. Be interesting. Stafford leaves. Sam Darnold goes to LA.
You're just putting Sam Darnold everywhere.
Because Sam Darnold with McVay will probably work just as well as
Yeah.
Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah, probably I could see it happening. But yeah, Rams are interesting going forward. They obviously have a lot set. So impressed with the D line. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like
Oh, the Rams D line. Yeah.
Fisk and Verse going forward.
Kobe
is
Turner's good too.
Kobe Turner,
Yeah.
Byron Young. Like
Spates
they have a
there,
great.
yeah.
It's really like the remaking of that Commanders line or Redskins line.
Yeah.
When they had Allen and
Yep.
Sweat and all those guys. But yeah, so Rams, I think we kind of I'm comfortable where we landed there. I feel like the Ravens was the most visceral reaction that we had. And I think I want to walk back my thing a little bit with Lamar Jackson. I think I want to walk it back and say, I don't want to blame the guy, but like, what do you do now? Do you just say, well, something else happened? You know what I'm saying? Like,
You already know where I am with this.
yeah, it's definitely the Mark
I
Andrews
think you
game.
need mega change there.
You want the coach.
I want like a culture reset.
I'd like them to bring in someone who's just not in the same vein as far as offensive coordinator. Like, Monken is basically Greg Roman. They both all run the same offense. I'd like for you to bring in someone who's going to maybe run like a
He's Greg Roman because they had the same success.
they run the same style offense.
Well, Monken's a little more passive, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like I want but down the field pat. I feel like that works in the regular season, but as far as like sustainable offense, sustainable drives, I feel like they need to get more efficient. Like that's probably going to sound ridiculous because I'm sure his passing completion percentage is fantastic.
Yeah, it was incredible.
But you saw in the playoffs, as far as like, and we always see in the playoffs, as far when the run game isn't working, and it was working with Derrick Henry, to have that other weapon of being able to dink and dunk all the way down the field. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, looking for something, but
And then what they're going to do next
I don't
year
know what
is
to do with them anymore.
they're going to get Cooper Kupp or DeAndre Hopkins, and we're going to be the same because they always get these
completely
older.
doesn't matter.
They always get these
or
older.
Tyreek Hill's rumored too.
Yeah, they always get these older wideouts who are like at the end of their career.
And it just doesn't matter. Lamar Jackson's not going to do anything with them. That's not the offense. That's not Lamar Jackson.
It's just up to Lamar Jackson. It's weird.
No one. There's never been more than one wide receiver that's been, consistently relevant.
Yeah, it's just how it's just Lamar Jackson. The fact of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to make a stupid comparison, but it's like buying some brand new 2025 truck to plow the field. It's like you don't really need that.
Yeah.
The way we use it, you can just get a regular
Yeah,
truck.
easy way to chop. A little overkill. Yeah.
Anything else for Divisional Weekend, though? Are we putting a bow on it?
Yeah, put a bow on it. It's on to the next one. This is 2 big games. I can't wait for Friday. Well, a full show. Terrell will be here.
Full show Friday, yeah. Terrell's going to come back in during the week, which if you follow us normally, he's usually on Sundays, so that's a special treat. We're obviously in
Now
the
there's
new
pressure for him. Now he can't flake out.
I know,
'Cause
right?
you put it on.
We're in the new studio, and things are coming together, so we'll have AJ and Gabe back on camera. Do want to remind you, February 2nd, big guest. I'm not BSing you. I'm not fluffing that up.
Literally big
It's
guest.
massive.
Yeah.
It's massive, as a person, massive for the show,
Yeah.
and we do it for you guys, so make sure you tune in
Yeah.
on February 2nd for that show. That'll be the week of the Super Bowl, so that'll be fun as well. Anything else?
Nope. Just do the better picks thing again.
Yeah, make sure subscribe to download Better Picks,
Yeah.
use our code. Bet on football, man. It's fun. And listen, we're in California, and you could use it in California, and because it's not betting, you're
gaming.
You're playing fantasy.
It's gaming.
It's gaming. So
it's gaming.
download, have a good time, man. Win some money. It's fun, and you can win money on the house. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And Inauguration Day was a flying success. You know what I'm saying? We won't say who we voted for, but you should know by now.
Hey, Trump killed it, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what was fun?
he was just up there talking shit.
What was fun was it was like a celebrity who's who.
Yeah,
Because the background, that's Musk.
Joe Rogan was there.
It was all
Theo Vaughn was.
It's all the what's it called, the Viners, or the what do you call them, like YouTubers, I guess.
What's the people who won the Young vote for Trump?
Because they're all there.
Yeah.
And so you're like, I know that guy. So
it was so funny to watch him just go up there and beat Trump, just talking shit.
Like, Biden couldn't do this.
Yeah. Last 4 years have been terrible.
Yeah. Immediately signs everything off what Biden just did.
Yeah.
There was some there.
God bless America. God bless America.
At work, it was a little bit tense.
Make sure you go follow us on our social medias. It's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, which is back.
TikTok
was gone for a day.
Thank you to our president.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
He's our president.
Thank you, Don.
My president.
What am I missing? Oh, YouTube as well, obviously. Search at Bench Show to follow us on all those different social media platforms. Check out benchshow.com. We have the Bench Beat there, which is all our articles on fandom, fantasy, all things NFL. So check that out. New articles up going up all the time. Check that out as well. That's all we got for episode 207. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again on Friday. Brand new show previewing championship weekend. Commanders at Eagles, Bills at Chiefs. It's going to be wild. See them.
Peace.